It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, hope you had a great holiday, and we have a special guest in the building.
Yes, George, thank you very much. I had a wonderful holiday. I would say I maybe had too much of a holiday if you listen to my voice today. And yes, we do have a very special guest, Dr. Carlene Lacey, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the On-Ramp program. And we have a tremendous amount of information and things to understand and learn about On-Ramp. And this is, I say, a perfect way to close out the year.
A perfect way to close out the year. Though y'all are still in the holiday colors, I ain't get the memo, but that's okay.
Well, listen. I did this. Take just a couple minutes. I did this hoping you would remember when we were younger, and they send you all these look backs in YouTube. And when we were younger, I used to wear 31 beads during the Christmas, New Year's season, put on one bead, and I was the one walking around. By the time it was over, my neck was just crushed. And the other day, I opened up my drawer and I had my box of beads, and I said, you know what? I don't have the 31 on, but I'm gonna put a few beads on in memory and also to spark a memory for me to say to and to everyone here in the Syracuse area, thank you for a wonderful year. Thank you for all the support you provided for me and for Brackens Financial Solutions Network. And thank you for the way you have embraced Mr. Michael Jennings. I have really appreciated that way you have embraced this Mr. Michael Jennings, who is the friendly neighborhood advisor who is part of the Brackens Financial Solutions Network team. So that's where we are with my beads, George.
I see you. I see
All right. All right. So, Dr. Lacey, thank you again for agreeing to, I know it's the end of the year and you probably had lots on your mind and lots on your plate as far as celebrating, but to take the time to sit with us to really discuss one of the most important new programs and efforts that have taken place across not only Syracuse, but across upstate New York, the On-Ramp program. One network for regional advanced manufacturing partnership. We have a way of creating names, I tell you, okay, the On-Ramp program. But you are not a new face to Syracuse. And I wanted to start out just for a moment, if you could sort of give us a little bit of history of your experience here in the Syracuse area and within the realm of this type of programming, and then we'll go on from there.
Well, first and foremost, thank you both for inviting me. I've counted an honor and a privilege to be with you today. So thank you. And I have an extensive workforce development, executive leadership background. Over the last 20 plus years, between volunteering with community-based organizations, non-for-profits, developing governance and administration and human resources, I've had the pleasure of working in some very talented organizations, such as the Syracuse Community Health Center under the divine leadership of Dr. Ruben Cowart. I've had the opportunity to serve as the interim executive director for the Dunbar Center and bringing that back online, which was an incredible, heartfelt ministry for me. And then over the last 8 years, I had the opportunity to serve as a global lead for developing workforce development programs at a utility organization of National Grid. And through that, had the privilege of creating 4 clean energy academies specifically designed to train and expose individuals to careers in utility. And I ended that particular career at National Grid working directly in the Boston area. And so, because Syracuse is such a home to me, I had a choice whether or not I wanted to move to Boston or stay in Syracuse. And you know, hands down, what my choice was. And miraculously, the role of Chief Executive Officer opened up. And it was serendipitous. I went through the process, and I'm here now serving as the Chief Executive Officer for the On-Ramp organization. And I can go in and tell you more about that later on, but I'll pause right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure because you and I have known each other since, wow, the Syracuse Community Health Center, what, 20 years?
Oh, yes.
At least 20 years ago, and have walked several paths together. But I wanted to be sure that our audience also was brought up to speed on your tremendous background and experience that you've had in the workforce development area and in working with bringing excellence to the community
Yeah,
all around. Yeah.
I'm glad you did that, Vicki, because I was kind of stuck at Syracuse Community Health Center. So I'm glad I'm glad you provided us with that update.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that divine leadership comment.
Oh yeah. Um
Absolutely.
I that hit me too. That hit me too.
Yeah, it really, really, really did. Okay, all right. So listen, on-ramp, which is something that, we've been hearing for a long time period about, what's happening with the bringing down of 81 South, what's happening with, hey, as far as the building up of downtown Syracuse, what's happening with Micron coming. But this name on-ramp sort of came under the radar really very quietly, but is actually a huge deal as far as its impact in the light manufacturing area. So would you please explain to Vicki Brackens and to our audience what the focus and what on-ramp really is and what it's supposed to do?
Yes. So our vision and mission at OnRamp is to be the renowned workforce development training center across the world. And so we're going to do that bit by bit, starting in Syracuse. What attracted me to this role is that there are a plethora of workforce development programs that exist right here in Syracuse. And OnRamp is the one stop to bring all of those programs together in a very unique way. So that's one part of our mission. But the core of our mission is to train individuals into skills for careers in advanced manufacturing, building trades, and adjacent industries so that they can not only get the skills, but then they have access to wealth building roles. And so the tricord is we attract through our community-based organizations, we train through professionals and provide those credentials that are renowned and stackable. And then we work with our industry partners, Micron, TTM, 81, the unions. We work with them to help secure roles so that the individual has a handoff into employment. And so that is the pathway forward for OnRamp. And we're excited that there's 7 partners that we're working with right now in our temporary location, and we will get jump start in the new year.
Okay. So you mentioned so much there. So let me see if I can go back and pull out a few things.
Well, before you do
Temporary
that,
location.
Vicki, I was
Yeah.
going to say, before you do that, can you just say what on-ramp is again? And you can say that a few times.
One network for regional advanced manufacturing partnership.
Thank you. Okay.
One network for regional advanced manufacturing partnerships.
We'll
Very
just
good.
call it OnRamp.
On
Okay.
ramp. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, since you did that, George, let me go back. And if I'm incorrect, let me know, Dr. Lacey. This was a program that was spearheaded out of the state. Is that correct?
They're spearheaded out of the state, yes.
Okay. All right, then. What
Empire
led them to think that this was needed?
Yeah, so Center State CEO, along with the Empire State Development Organization, through a series of programs that had been incubated over what I understand is well over several years. And there was a cry out from the community that there's a lot of training going on, but there wasn't the connection to the industry. People weren't getting jobs. And in the programs that I developed in the utility space, I am excited that over 100 plus people over a 2-year period, we not only recruited, trained, but also was able to have them secure roles within the energy industry or our partners. And so taking that same model is what I am bringing to the on-ramp organization.
All right. So then it was really that we were getting a lot of activity, but we weren't getting a lot of end execution.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, on-ramp, the network, one network for regional advanced manufacturing partnerships. Is this only in Syracuse? What does this footprint look like?
Thank you. So there's four on-ramp centers. We are the flagship, which is we are the first that has taken it from concept to implementation. And since joining in July 8th of this year, there has been a number of milestones that we have achieved just in the 5 months. And so we can talk about that.
Yes, let's go right ahead. Okay.
We
Okay.
want to hear it.
I want to hear everything. Okay.
Several milestones that were achieved is one, building that strategy to identify all of the partners within the ecosystem. And so I held a workshop where we brought all of them together on July 23rd and really heard their voices and heard what their desire was, what they saw. And it was really a listening session. I shared my vision, got their input, and then I really peeled back after a while and designed a strategy, presented an RFP, which all of those same community agencies and organizations, they had an opportunity to apply for the RFP for funding. And then from that RFP, we were able to analyze and advance a scope of partners. And so there's 7 partners, 6 from that RFP, 7 that you may be familiar with, Pathways to Apprenticeship.
Okay.
All of those partners will be working under the on-ramp facility. And so training will happen on the facility. The partners will do their recruitment, and because they are the trusted liaison to the potential trainees, and they will have a combination of services at their location, but the training will happen right at on-ramp. We'll have supportive services at on-ramp as well. And so we've been able to engage the community partner. We've been able to engage the supportive services partners. We've been able to secure a temporary location, and it is 34,000 square feet.
Wow.
15,000 of those square foot is for the hands-on training services that will be provided. Those services that are in our service catalog are the construction, the MC3, so that's all the building trades. We will have a heavy equipment operator with one of our partners. The vision is to have a welding bay. The vision is to have electrical, and the vision is to have a portable advanced manufacturing. We'll have some simulation and career exploration through simulation for wiring. We'll have VR sets so that people can get an idea of what it is to work in that field. And then we also have trainee success services that are there. And in that space, trainees will get an opportunity to have those supportive services, get resume and cover letter writing skills, and they'll be able to take Tooling U advanced manufacturing courses as they desire. All of this is designed to provide credentialing, exploration, and then most of all, hands-on training so that they can be prepared for the skills in advanced manufacturing, building trades, and adjacent industries.
All right, George, the audience right now should be going like, what? All of that in one place?
Well, right. That's what I'm thinking, right?
Okay.
But I see the light now,
But
right?
you see there, you said 30,000 square feet?
34,000 square feet.
34,000 square feet. That is a huge footprint. 34,000 square feet. So in order to stage all of those things, but what I was thinking about, excuse me, was when we had the conversations, Georgia, because we've been together a long time. You saw those pictures, right?
I did.
I sent him a roll of everything that I've saved over the years.
Wow.
Um, Back we had the offshoring of manufacturing
Yeah.
when, in fact, that was really just starting to ramp up when I moved to Syracuse. And we had the loss of Miller and most of the things that happened at GE, and then it was Lockheed, and then what happened over at Bristol, what happened there with Nestle's. I mean, the whole region, okay, just rolling out because GM manufacturing was being offshored. What this tells me is that New York State has made a commitment to being at the top of its game for the reshoring of manufacturing into this country. Because the reshoring, bringing back manufacturing in a different way, because it's not the same type of manufacturing, because I keep hearing some different terms here, but that New York State and this particular region is now involved with the top of its game as far as reshoring and manufacturing and being part of this process the highest level possible. Is that correct? Is that what this is all about, Dr. Lacey?
I share that um, ideation. Yes, I do.
All
In
right.
a very different way.
All right. Okay. So one of the things that you mentioned earlier is how expansive this is. That costs money. Tell me about the funding. How does this all work?
Yeah, so the governor has provided funding in two pots. So there's a total of about 80 million coming to the Syracuse on-ramp, 40 million specifically for the redevelopment of the permanent location, which is 1300 South Salina Street, and 40 million for developing programming so individuals can have training and training that will ultimately lead to roles. And so another accomplishment that was achieved through these 5 months is right now what's on the street is a master developer RFP, and that master developer will help us navigate the space of redevelopment for that permanent location. Um, and so I do agree that it is a prime time for advanced manufacturing, but I also agree that it's a prime time for the adjacent industries, for construction, for building, because everything that will be needed for the micron moment or maximizing the moments for other manufacturing agencies, we have to build the infrastructure in order to accommodate and meet that moment. And that's anything from housing to hotels to businesses. So I'm pretty excited. It is exciting. The groundwork is being laid, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Vicki, I have two questions.
Okay.
One is about the permanent location at the 1300 block of South Salina Street, and what tell us more about that. And then I have another question.
Yes, so the purchase of that building through
What is that building?
it is the former Sears building that
Hey.
Okay.
yes, it's the former Sears building that closed in 1970s, and it has been um, sitting kind of dormant. There's several organizations that have wanted it, but it has sit kind of dormant for a
20,
lot of
30
years.
years. Yeah.
Well, let me just say, I worked in City Hall in the late 80s, and we were talking about a use for that building then. So yes,
Wow.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so it has a lot of attraction. But the key, at least for that building and the opportunity for on-ramp to be located and relocated there, is that the South Side has not had a lot of investment in a very long time. and bringing a workforce training center that will have all of the things in it that I can imagine and more will not only rejuvenate the South Side, but also give it a sense of pride in a greater way. And owning properties on that South Side, I think it will also build that property value in a way that we hadn't seen in a long time.
That's a significant thing. And then the other question that I had was more of an observation, and you can help me with that. You described all the workforce development things that are happening within that building. And how does the workforce development in the on-ramp differ from other types of workforce development that we see in the community? You know, how is it not duplicative, if you will?
That's a really great question. And during my time of my listening tour, really was understanding what organizations were doing. And so at OnRamp, we'll provide a complementary aspect for other organizations. The reason I'm not saying the names because they haven't been announced, but one of the organizations that we'll work with, they'll be providing heavy operating equipment training. And so the space provides that where they can bring that heavy operating equipment. And so that's a collaboration, not duplicative. And so if I use OCC, for example, they have a clean room.
Right.
So partnering with them that we can prepare for individuals to get excited about going into advanced manufacturing, utilizing the clean room by having a simulation or a test clean room at OnRamp. And so it'll be complementary and not duplicative.
Yeah, and OCC, what made me think about that was they have a welding program, right?
Right.
So there's
Yes.
right. So I was just thinking about that connection as well.
And George, what it does is OCC is located at a space in the city that people may or may not have access to. And so we, being on the west side, we're on the bus line. You can get to us from all four corners of
In the temporary location.
even in a temporary location. But what we're doing at the temporary location, it is built and designed purposely that everything that's there is a microcosm of what will be at the permanent location.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So I purposely set it up in that fashion so that the community knows that this is real. This place is real. And when you come in, according to what I've heard, it's very inviting, it's exciting, it's inspirational, all at the same time that it's functional. And that is, and it is accessible. And those are some of the key factors that we heard from the community. And I'm excited to have brought those components into even the temporary space. And so we'll be very thoughtful to bring them into the permanent space.
I think I should stop here and basically say so that everyone who's listening, we're having a very detailed conversation with Dr. Carlene Lacey, who is the Chief Executive Officer of OnRamp, which is the one network for regional advanced manufacturing partnerships here in Syracuse, New York. She represents not only the Syracuse location, but she is the flagship location for the entire operation across the state of New York. I have one question. Well, I have lots of questions, but I see the address 1224. Is that correct?
That
I'm
is
looking
correct.
at
Yes.
1224, but I didn't hear the street again.
West Genesee Street.
West Genesee Street, okay, which is down there by, I call it car alley, where all the car dealerships are, okay? As far as, and really very close, I understand, to the Volvo dealership, so we can give everybody, and there are buses that run up and down that corridor all the time. When are we going to get to move into the new place?
Yeah, so that's going to be about 2 to 3 years to develop that I would say the corridor.
Okay, all right then. So 2028, 2029, somewhere
Yeah.
in that range. Okay.
Yeah, right. Because if you right end of year, we're
Right.
26 this week.
So it's gonna be 2029. Okay, all right. All right then. So are there any models that were used to at least frame what the on-ramp program is all about?
Yes. So the
Okay.
Northland workforce training center model was used for many of the components that are in on-ramp, but also the clean energy academies in which I built in the utility space was also a model that was used and incorporated into this particular organization.
Now, can individuals just come and enroll?
That was a
What's the
question I
process?
had. Yes. Do they just walk? Do they
Do they
just
just walk in the door and say, "I want to be here"?
right? That's
Give me
I
the
wanted.
process.
That was one of my questions.
Yes, so thank you. We work with our community-based organizations, and those will be rolled out in January.
Okay.
But depending upon what what that individual desires to do, we will direct them to a particular organization. So to answer your question, quite frankly, if somebody wanted to come to On-Ramp at 1224 West Genesee Street and get information and understand about the timelines and how to sign up, we can direct them. Soon, our communications, our website, our brand, within the next year, the next few weeks, that will be able to be up, and they will be able to have access to On-Ramp that way. But yes, you can come to the location and we will direct you from there.
So the individuals are fed through your partner organizations, is what I'm hearing.
Currently, today, yes.
Yes.
All right then. So, and I keep seeing the notation on the window there, supported by Center State CEO. So tell me about this supportive relationship.
Yes, so the supportive relationship is really keen. ESD, the state, awarded the grant to Center State CEO to start an 501c3 organization, which is on-ramp,
Okay.
in order for it to get up and running. And so, Center State CEO, that's why it says supported by Center State CEO. What my role was when I came is to take a framework and to look at that framework, build a strategy, implement, and get results. And so that's what I'm here to do.
Okay. All right.
And you're
Thank
going to
you.
do it too.
Oh, I know that you're going to do it. I have no doubt whatsoever. All right. So now we are in, as I said, near the end of the year, heading into the new year very shortly. If you could hammer out three things that you would really want to see happen in the next quarter for on-ramp, what would they be?
Oh, one, there will be an attraction from the trainees. Two, there will be job openings for the trainees through our industry partners, real life wealth building jobs.
Mhm.
And then the third is that there will be an embrace of the community so that we not only sustain programming, but build On-Ramp as an organization so that we could be modeled throughout the region and ultimately the nation.
All right, okay. Hey, George, did you notice these colors Dr. Lacey has on?
I did. I noticed.
All right, okay. Although I do know she is not, because I'm going to get calls, Dr. Lacey, so I'm going to tell you right now. She is not a soror, okay? Of the Delta, okay, of Delta, but we noticed that she was wearing everything that there was, okay, related to the Delta, okay, Sigma Theta.
You're gonna get her in
sorority.
trouble now.
I have a lot of great friends who are sore. So,
I,
and it's interesting. I didn't think anything of it. Elephants are one of my favorites. And
okay, all right. Well, listen, I have a favorite question before we wrap up. Is there something that I should have asked you that you want to share with our audience before we start to close?
yes, the
Okay.
one thing that I wish you would have asked me is about wealth building for our trainees.
Lord, Vicki, now you know better.
How did I miss that one? Go, Dr. Lacey, go for it.
All right. So, part of our programming, and we have 8 services, one component is financial literacy. And my ask or request of those financial leaders, whether it be banking institutions or leaders such as you, to be able to donate your time to the trainees and tell them how they can build wealth little by little, and open up those pathways, whether it be through real estate, whether it be through savings, whether it be through IRAs, building that ecosystem of professionals that they can hear it and actually see it and participate. So would you be one of those providers that can give some inspiration, financial inspiration to our trainees?
Well, Dr. Lacey, you know the answer to that already, okay? We've had that relationship for many years, and I definitely will sit down and talk to you about how we can structure something that will be of benefit to your trainees and probably a little less technical and more what I would call executable
Oh,
than we have traditionally tried in the past. Because one of the things that we have learned over this last 20 years is that you need to see results faster than is the traditional models that we've used in financial literacy. So coffee soon,
yes.
okay? Coffee very soon to make sure that we hammer something out that's going to make a lot of sense.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Now, George, I haven't been closed on air before.
Well, you have one more question for her.
Oh, no, you missed it. Dr. Lacey got it. She
Oh,
smiled because you know what I said. I haven't been closed on air before.
I got you.
Okay.
I see you now. There you go.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But there you go. And she did.
She did it. Okay, she did it. Okay. But what I want to say to you is this. First of all, I am very, very happy when I heard the announcement that you had been selected as the inaugural CEO for the on-ramp program. I just kind of smiled all over because this is the perfect match for what we need to do. And the fact that you have been planting seeds and growing this type of initiative throughout our community for the last 20 plus years, thinking back all those days when you were doing your dissertation and all those things where we walked through all of those milestones together, I was overjoyed to hear that you had accepted the role. But I have come to the point with all of our guests recently because of the inspiration that has taken place, particularly around our new leadership that's coming in a few days, okay, as far as the inauguration of our new mayor and many of the different things that are happening. I wanted to get a feed from everyone, a feeling from everyone of this particular question. What do you consider to be the Syracuse secret sauce? What makes us special?
Wow. I would say what makes Syracusians special is their commitment to not only uplift their families, but uplift their communities as well. Our voice, when we join them together, it resounds throughout the hallways of any legal system, any political influence. And that is Nancy Cantor said connective corridor.
Mm.
And I changed that to say connectivity of community is what is the secret sauce of Syracuse.
Wow.
Connectivity
Thank
of
you.
community.
Connectivity of community. All right, then. Well, before we close tonight, again, Dr. Lacey, thank you very much. I heard you need to hear the voices of the community in supporting the on-ramp program. We will make sure that we continue to filter out to everyone the fact that we need all the energy that we can possibly get. And George, at this point in time, to everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at area code 315-930-4499, or you can reach me at info@brackensfsn.com. Our plate is now full.
Our plate is full, and I want to remind folks, February 22nd. Go ahead, Vicki.
February 22nd, the 18th annual Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret, which will be held at the Drumlins Country Club. Get your tickets now.
There you go. All right. With that being said, Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven.